Hi everybody, my name is Cameron. Professor Hyde asked me to put this video together for you guys to talk a little bit about my experience living and working abroad. So I first came to Spain 4 years ago on vacation. My best friend Kevin got engaged to a Spanish woman. They asked me to come for Christmas break. I went with them, absolutely fell in love with it. I said, I have to come back here at some point. And 2 years later, I graduated from Framingham State University with my bachelor's in communication arts. And I had two choices. I was either going to get a typical sales job in Boston, which is what, most people my age would do, something like that, or I could do a teach abroad program, teaching English in Spain. And I had a friend who had done that a couple of years back and she loved it. So I decided the latter. I decided I want to at least spend 1 year after I graduate exploring the world, seeing what it's like to actually live abroad. The application process to teach abroad was a long process, I'll be honest. There were a couple times during that process where I was like, oh my God, is this even worth it? But I managed to get through it. You have to do a lot of different paperwork. You have to go to the Spanish embassy. You have to wait. What I did was I went through an intermediary program called CIEE. You have to pay them a fee, but they sort of walk you through the process so you're not doing it all on your own. So if it's your first time, I would recommend looking into some type of intermediary program if you do want to teach abroad. Life abroad is amazing. It is how can I say this? It's life-changing. It's going to change your life. It's going to change you as a person. However, I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's difficult, right? Living abroad is a lot different than studying abroad because you don't always have your family around. When you're studying abroad, for example, you're saying, okay, I'm going to spend a semester or 2 semesters here, then I'll go home. When you're working abroad, you're much more integrated. You have to find an apartment, pay all your bills, navigate that whole system on your own. But through that process, you grow so much as a person. You become way more resilient. You become someone who can really, handle whatever life throws at them. So my first housing situation, that was one of the most stressful parts of the process. When I first got to Spain doing my Teach Abroad program, they didn't actually really help us with the housing process that much. So I had to use a couple websites to find a place to live, and that was very stressful. I did end up finding an awesome place in the city center, and actually 2 of my original roommates became my best friends, which was just pure luck. But the housing process is something that you have to prioritize as soon as you get to a new country. It's a total numbers game, right? So I tell people, you can't wait around. You have to send out a huge volume of emails or requests trying to go see as many rooms as possible. The more the better. And buckle up, it's gonna be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but you will get through it. My plan next is, what's my next plan? Let's see. I think next I would really love to, so I'm living in Spain now. I have a job with a great international corporation, which I really like. I actually started that about 2 years ago. Sorry, no, I started that 1 year ago. But what's next? I would really, really like to live and work in Italy. That would be awesome, or France. But I think I'm going to stay in Europe because Europe's awesome. And it's awesome for so many different reasons that go beyond the scope of this video. Free healthcare, cheaper cost of living. I'm in Brussels, Bruges right now. We flew here for, I think in total for 2 round-trip tickets, it was like 100-ish euros. I mean, that's incredibly cheap, right? More or less. One other point I want to get to is that, so I originally came to Spain on a Teach Abroad visa, which is really a student visa. That's a really great way to get to a foreign country to teach English. However, some of you aren't interested in teaching English, in which case it's not complicated, but to be able to work in a foreign country in Europe. For example, you want to go to France to work. You can't just go and then just get a job. The European Union has pretty strict laws around foreigners coming to work. So the best way to do that, I think, is to get your company, assuming you do work for a company, to sponsor your work visa. Because that way they sort of like take control of the whole process. The HR can help you. I would really recommend at least joining a company that will allow you to work abroad. Anyways, that's it. Thank you, Professor Hyde, for letting me have this opportunity to speak to everybody. And I'll post my email in the video. If any of you have any questions, I can go into way more detail. So thank you very much, and happy graduation.